Hero Club presents Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu.
Hello and welcome to Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu, episode 81. I am your host and co-creator, Wheelchair21, and joining me tonight is, well, technically the duology of mics. First off, it is the third member of the show, Janitor Joker, making his return.
No one's ever really gone, Wheels. No one's ever really gone. Except for me. I've been gone for how long? 20 years now?
I don't know. Probably since episode 75. Probably.
That's 25 episodes ago, almost.
No, it's only like 5.
Did you forget about our interlude episodes?
We don't have. Yeah, oh yeah, we have those, don't we? Anyways, yeah, we also have with us the other Mike, the fourth member of the podcast, Soundout 12.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm fired up. I'm ready to eat somebody. So let's do this.
What? You're not going to talk about what we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, had
we're
you
gonna
guys
move
been here for
forward
the
into the future?
Had you guys been here for the pre-show, Mike and Mike in the morning became Mike and Mike go to war at midnight.
Oh yes.
And it was a glorious war because I was sitting there going, "This is fun," but Sounda got too heated, and I was like, "Now it's getting not fun because Sounda's taking it too seriously."
I get defensive when I get attacked.
Oh, it's funny too because it wasn't really a deliberate attack, but Sounda took it as an attack. It was fun. It was all over Ryuki and how Ryu isn't really I can't even think of her name right now.
Exactly. You can't remember.
Ryu, dumbass, girl, fedora, beret.
And we're not even talking about Megumi.
Hat.
Yeah, hat. But no, that was some funny ass shit. I enjoyed it. It was incredible. And then it led to a Geo tangent. That's just for anyone wondering, what was this war about? It was
Geo sucks.
Geo tangent.
Geo was great. It's a good show.
Anyways, for people wondering why we've taken off more than a month, actually it's kind of an interesting story. We only intended to do 2 weeks. We legitimately only intended to do 2 weeks. However, the week we were coming back to record and do stuff, Soundout had this hilarious sinus infection. When I mean hilarious, it was 5 full days, and then out of nowhere I caught this reverse ear infection where it wasn't inside the eardrum. It was from the outer eardrum due to getting an infected super pimple thing, and then my ear was purple. It was just crazy. So yeah, that was the whole crazy stuff. So Soundout. So
and then last week we were just lazy.
No, that was the ear.
No, we were celebrating the Lord.
Our Lord and Savior Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus Godzilla.
Yep, Jesus Godzilla.
Yeah, but yeah, no. If you thought about it though, Soundout was smell no evil. I was hear no evil, and Mucha was we couldn't see no evil. Literally and figuratively, since he is
couldn't see me.
Here. Yeah, exactly. He was John Cena.
Why am I the evilest one?
I don't know. Why are you the evilest one?
Okay, listen. I can't make the joke because they're on YouTube.
Yeah, we can't make the joke, even though I'm pretty sure the joke I was thinking of was completely different than the one you were thinking of.
Or it could have been the same, Wheels. You never know.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm ready to break Mucha over my niece. Let's get into some arguments. That's what the podcast's about, right?
Yeah, well, because we could technically talk about news, but there's not really any news, to be honest.
Well, everyone's least favorite Hibiki character's coming back.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's least favorite one, Shirakur's pet project, the Wesley Crusher of Hibiki's back.
Yep. No one's ever no one's really talking about the fact that Inoue's coming back for the Kiva episodes.
No one's talking about the fact that, everyone is talking about the fact that...
There's Kiva episodes?
Yeah, the Kivat, the guy who voices Kivat straight up accidentally released the information that he was already in the ADR booth performing Kivat, and he was like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to tweet that? I like the silence is everyone's wow, did he really do that, or didn't he do that? I'm that was a thing that happened today on social media. Everyone's yo, did you see him tweet this and then delete this and go, oops, my bad.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there's the other one where technically Toei brought up an old April Fool's Day joke, and we thought it was a joke again, and they're oh no, we're actually following through this
what?
Years
you
later.
Talk about the best character in Drive?
Yeah, when they were Kamen Rider Brain, the series, and everyone was yo, you high? And they're we're bringing back Fumika Baba, and I was okay, now you have me.
Now you have my attention.
Yeah, now you have my attention. Their rivalry is the best thing about the show.
Yeah.
They're we also have Heart, and we also have Krim Steinbelt. And I'm now I'm even more invested.
Now I'm even more aroused.
Exactly. First I was at half mast, now I'm at full mast.
Full mast.
And
the
beyond.
flag's waving.
Yeah, full mast and beyond. It's you just hear Goku going Super Saiyan 3 in the background. Oh yeah, there is one fun fact of news that probably will be rectified by the time this episode actually does air, but the infamous Street Date of the Lightning Collection, everyone's losing their minds about that real fast.
Oh
Like,
god, because people
Zed
don't
shipped
understand
early, yeah.
how toy collecting works in 2019.
Yeah, you just
no, it's
go
just
to a sex
ridiculous.
store and wait. Oh, talking about the other toys. My bad.
Yeah, no, this is the thing. Everyone's saying that, Target and Amazon effed up. Like, you saw that article today, and someone was, like, saying they effed up. I'm like, no, what happened was Hasbro, like, at the last minute said Street Date changed, or...
No,
maybe
Amazon
something
had
about
May
Street
1st
Date.
from the day pre-orders opened.
Yeah, so I don't understand what the
No
hell
one
is going
should have
on.
ever expected them prior to that, except from Hasbro Pulse, which Hasbro Pulse literally advertised themselves as get the toys early.
Yeah, so
Target screwed
I'm
up.
highly confused. I'm just highly confused, because Target screwed up, Walmart's are screwing up, Amazon
Walmart's not screwing up. Walmart puts stock out and lets people buy it. That's not a screw up. That's how it should be done.
Then
If
there's Target
the
who, like,
Street
store
Date by
lock.
putting it on the shelf early, no one should get fought with cashiers at checkout. Because the store screwed up the Street Date. That's their fault, not the customer.
Yeah, no,
For
it's
us
getting
collectors, it's
confusing.
annoying, but imagine parents buying toys for their kid and being stopped at checkout.
Oh yeah, that is rather confusing when you think about it. Like, it's a weird argument that's going on right now, because, like, I've just been seeing so many people that, like, don't know what the hell's going on, especially people who are alleged toy collectors saying that, the store screwed up, and I'm like, okay?
Who have not been around long enough. This is not a new thing.
Yeah, no, it's weird, it's whack, but I just find it funny that that's, like, the newest conspiracy or the newest issue with Power Rangers at the moment, since Beast Morphers is still technically going strong. Since,
Because Bandai never had Street Dates, but they also didn't have consistent stocking or widespread distribution, so...
Oh yeah, that's another problem. But yeah, anyways...
Any online presence.
Yeah, anyway, so since we've been rambling around a lot, since, this is our first episode back in the month, I guess it's about time we tell you, though, what our lit list is today, because it's the only thing on our frickin' episode, which is the J-drama we recently addressed on this episode, or I should say not episode, this series, Tokusatsu GaGaGa. We're now going to look at all 7 episodes and give our overall review. Now, even though we've seen the drama, we've not been able to accurately get our hands on any good scanlations of the manga, so don't expect a full comparison between the two at this time. We can always revisit this series with a comparison at a later time if there is either an official release for the manga or proper scanlations are made widely available for its entire run. So anyways, where we left off was episode 1, where we get introduced to our main character, Office Lady Nakamura. And, well, pretty much in this episode 1, we just find out she's adorable and she wants to get, other closeted otakus to notice her. Specifically, this woman on the subway that she calls Riger Lady. And it also leads to crazy karaoke segments, if you don't recall our last episode. This eventually advances to episode 2, where her and Riger Lady actually hit it off at a stage show, and they start talking about their lives, and how they're both closeted otakus, and how Nakamura has this evil mom. Now, her and Riger Lady, Yoshida, then try to find a third member, like you see this podcast here, the 3 of us, to get a third member to have a holy trinity. However, Yoshida takes it in a very villainous mastermind way to try to convert one of Nakamura's co-workers. Ironically enough, the co-worker they try to convert is not the one they want, and they end up getting the so-called evil co-worker, Kitashiro, who's kind of like this old maid kind of character in the series that technically no one really likes at the job, but you find out she technically has a heart of gold, and it's not really a hard ass. She was made that way when Kitashiro's younger friend kind of ousted her as like a
Idol fangirl.
Idol fangirl at a party with her previous co-workers, which made her become very cold-hearted and closed off from the world. And ironically, by hanging out with Yoshida and Nakamura, they reunite, and that leads to them going on a weird beach adventure. And when I mean beach adventure, I mean like, it's really rambunctious and they try to do a photo shoot. At the same time, there's the subplot with the little kid in episode 1, keeps hanging out with Nakamura, and they keep doing weird adventures, and now he's also madly in love with Yoshida. This all starts climaxing to our final 2 episodes that take place from Christmas to New Year's, where everyone is just having complicated schedules due to the holidays. They want to go see the newest movie for the series that's currently airing, but everything goes awry when Nakamura's mom shows up for New Year's, and Nakamura's mom also calls her out for being an otaku when they go out to eat for dinner and says, I've been in your apartment, I have one of your frickin' items that I hate, and deliberately breaks it, leading into a full-out physical and vocal confrontation that leads to the family being dissolved temporarily, which then leads to the reconcilement, where Nakamura and her friends try to, well, in a sense, figure out a way for Nakamura to go back and sort of apologize to her mother, while her mother is also wanting to apologize to the daughter, and then it leads to crazy antics of also other characters' subplots slowly being pseudo-wrapped up and addressed if they haven't been already confirmed or allegedly closed off. Like, Yoshida's going back to school to be a photographer, but she also found herself an actual boyfriend. Damien has issues with his parents, as well as at school. Kitashiro's just being Kitashiro, where she's just the third wheel to help them through the problems. And their male friend, Ninkyo, you find out the real reason he's very more, I guess you say, effeminate, is mostly because he was, very physically tormented in school, bullied and beat up. And the only thing that kind of cheered him up was, very plucky animes, shoujo animes, like a Precure knockoff called, Love Love?
Something like Love Cute or something.
Yeah, Love Cute. So, pretty much, for your 7 episodes, you have some really interesting things going on. And, like I said, I abridged it because we're doing the entire 7 episodes. I think, this quick little rundown at least can allow us to now go and dissect storylines and subplots and whatnot and characters. So, since you haven't been around, Mucha, you can go first, and then we'll hand it over to Soundout.
Oh man. Me first? Are you sure about that, Wheels?
Oh, you can handle it. You're a tough boy.
I don't know. I'm pretty weak, if you ask me. Yeah, so Tokusatsu GaGaGa is basically the season 3 of Akiba Ranger we needed and deserved. Yeah, it's a very entertaining series that dives into, I guess, being a fan of, I guess, these niche genres such as pretty cure animes, or animes in general, or idol groups, or, for us, the tokusatsu genre. And I wasn't really sure what to expect, kind of like when I first saw Akiba Ranger. I didn't know what was going to happen, I know what kind of story was going to be told, or how it was all going to function, but it kind of just dealt with the most mundane things people go through when they're trying to hide their hobbies. And it's very entertaining how they kind of dive into how these people like Nakamura just go through these most extreme fantasies and delusions of what could potentially happen if they're figured out or something like that, or have these most extreme delusions of what will happen if so and so happens, or what if this happens, or what if I miss my favorite TV show at this time when I need to see it. It's like the series finale and I can't miss it, not in this juncture, no siree. And it's kind of sad how I relate to some of these characters, especially like Nakamura or the I forget the other office lady, the one that
Kitashiro.
Yeah, Kitashiro.
Kitashiro, the old bag, even though the actual actress is a woman of 32 to 35 who actually gets cast in these elderly roles because it only takes a little bit of makeup to make her look like she's in her 40s.
Even though she's already awesome. If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, if you've seen her Gravera, you're like, damn, you fine. And then if you see Yoshida's Gravera, you're like, damn.
Yeah, you fine.
Have some respect.
If Projekt was here, there'd be nothing of respect left.
I mean, Projekt doesn't have respect for anything, so.
That's not true. Projekt respects himself. Okay, that's a lot.
Like I said, he didn't have respect for anything of value.
Yeah, this is how Nakamura, how she kind of reminds me of myself when you're kind of I'm around her age, so I get the whole, working and trying to just keep what you like to yourself because you don't really want to talk about it with other people unless you know they like it. It's the ultimate dilemma. You want to talk to people about your favorite shows, but you really don't know if they'll be interested in it.
How Mucha wants to talk with Soundout about how Ryuki is a shit show.
That's not the same thing. Because he said his favorite shows.
He
said his favorite shows.
Okay, and my least favorite shows.
There we go.
Or how you have to try to make time to hang out with people that have a different schedule than you. So you're trying to make it all work out and have time to yourself and with your friends. so that you feel like you're not missing anything or missing anyone. Yeah, it's surprisingly down to earth, this wonky show about tokusatsu fans who, for better or worse, are kind of idiots because they kind of overthink things. But that's what makes them great, because they're us if we overthink too much. Also, she's hot, so yeah. She's the top tier waifu. Am I right, Wheels?
Oh, it's true. Oh, okay, I'm gonna bring this up, and I think I said it in the first episode, but at the time when we were recording it, I said to Soundout, I go, Soundout, she's too much of a waifu. I have to find a way to demoralize her. And Soundout was like, don't you go looking for her, grab her, right? I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And then, like, in the first week and a half, I was not successful. And then Ukiya Seed was like, hey, fam, I hear you've been looking for her, grab her, right? And I was like, thank you. And then I said it to Soundout, and then Soundout was like, how dare you condemn this woman to be oogled by this way? And then Soundout was like, but I also thank you, so I hate myself, and hate you, and like you, and I don't know what to say. So you remember that, Soundout? That was like the best day ever. Yeah. When I finally was like, look what I found, and you were like, I hate you, I hate everyone, you should not have found this so soon until at least we finished the 7 episodes, and I'm like, well, Soundout, too bad, it's here. It's here, and deal with it. Hey, it doesn't help that, like, right after the show was over, she's like, hey guys, look at my bikini shoot. And I was like, you good.
But it does make me curious about the manga, because that shit looks crazy.
Oh, I want to know, like, how much more in the manga, because they said, oh, we're only doing 7 episodes, and I'm like, bet you could have done more.
Much more.
I think the manga's still going.
Oh my god, we might get a season 2. Anyways, so if that's what you want to say for just now with your thoughts.
Yeah,
on
just
this,
now. Just want to get initial thoughts. I find it a very relatable show. Kind of like Akiba Ranger, but for different reasons. So, yeah.
Alright then, Soundout, you're next on your, I guess, your basic rundown, and then we'll just start breaking it down even more, or analyzing stuff.
I mean, he covered a lot of it, because I find the show to be incredibly relatable as well, and I really did enjoy it, and I found that it mirrors reality a lot, which a lot of shows can't do very well, and I think that it was very good at, connecting with its audience, because it knew what its audience was, especially, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was pretty amazing.
And they were surprisingly very accurate with, like, how tokusatsu works and how Sentai tropes work.
Oh, yeah. Like, the way that, like, Sentai tropes could be applied to real-life encounters makes me realize why I love Sentai so much, because its tropes actually do relate to things in real life, and that's
not just
kind of amazing.
Not just Sentai, though. We got Ember Jason in the Metal Hero.
That's true. Sentai and Metal Hero are the best tokusatsu franchises of all time, so.
That's not true. That's Godzilla, and we all know it.
Yeah, is Godzilla Toku, or is it Kaiju?
That's the same thing.
Is it?
Dai Kaiju and Tokusatsu are one and the same. You can't have one without the other.
So that includes all the American Kaiju films?
No, we don't talk about those B-rate bastards.
No, we don't talk about rip-offs. Come on now. Or are they knockoffs? They're like Taiwanese.
They're officially licensed.
Listen,
licensed.
Listen, you can get a fake license anywhere.
I don't think that's how Warner Brothers does things, sir.
See?
They don't.
Fake licenses
they can get
anywhere.
Actual license. I mean, I totally think Polygon created a fake license to make Godzilla movies, but that's a different discussion for another day.
We don't talk about that one. That's not an actual movie.
Why does Polygon continue to get work?
Because you like Ryuki.
I knew that would bite me in the ass someday.
I was gonna say it was because Mucha likes spies.
I think Mucha and I are both curses upon this world. We need to kill each other before everything gets worse.
But guys,
who will survive?
I was gonna say, there's only one way for us to settle this. We need to go to the mountain when it's snowing, and you guys have to fight in the snow like Kuga and Dagobah.
Wait, which one is which, though?
Whoever's left standing. It doesn't matter,
because do either of them win?
Technically, Godai wins. He just has PTSD.
How do we know Dagobah Zeba didn't survive?
Because he's not killing people.
No, how does that just mean he still lived but didn't go through PTSD and is just a broken shell of himself, just like Godai is?
So you're saying he got the fucking Tronza experience? He's just Jetman. He's just a vegetable. He's just a vegetable sitting in his like wheelchair, wondering what's the purpose of his life.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Oh, you know what? Where's those Kuga episodes, Zio? Come on.
Oh my god, watch that be the Kuga episodes.
The Time Jackers turned Dagobah Zeba into another Kuga.
No, the real genius would have been to make Dagobah another Kuga, as in that Dagobah is another Kuga. There is no another Kuga. It's just Dagobah. But no, we got CGI instead. So fuck that. Anyway, back to Tokusatsu
GaGaGa Tokusatsu.
and why Nakamura is the best girl.
Yeah, go back to that sound if you got any more you want to include.
Best girl's best girl.
So yeah, no, okay, so when it comes to morals of the story, I think one thing that I did like is that, like, the person who wrote this, really made it very shoujo-y. You can tell it's very shoujo-y not just because of the female leads, but because in shoujos, and this is a thing that I've noticed in a lot of shoujo anime slash, J-dramas, you know, like, based on these mangas, is that they love to, like, allegedly a trope for Japanese girls is that they have these really weird, like, hallucinations and delusions that, like, actually, like, break, I guess you would say, the realm of fantasy and reality, where they have to stop and go, how high am I? So, I really liked how, like, they do it with Nakamura, where she'll be like, yo, how high am I right now? And then it leads to an actual Toei-produced, stunt work and fights and stuff, and crazy shenanigans. But I also like how she starts, like, coming up with, like, these weird, like, almost, I guess you would say, like, pseudo Family Guy-esque, like, cutaways, where she's like, man, this would be a great idea. And then she's like, okay, that is a bad idea. I mean, the greatest one is when her, Yoshida, and Kitashiro recreate what it's like to be in the office room with you know, with Rita Takeda, Rita Takeda and the other chick. Hey, are you going to the beach? Hey, could you go pick us up? And like the girl that was Kitashiro's younger friend is just like, wait, is this what it really means to be an adult? Yep. She's like, okay, where's the news so I can go hang myself right now? And they're like, whoa, don't get dark there, Anakin.
She's like, oh my god, it means to get progressively worse, doesn't it? Yep.
No, like, I do think the show really does address, like, I guess being a tokusatsu fan or just an otaku for a girl growing up in Japan very accurately, I feel like. There
is a little hints of, male otakus with the, who's the guy?
Yeah, Ninkyo, but they do, like, that inverse of, oh, look, this is a group of girls that like boy stuff, and this is a guy that likes girl stuff. So I think that was, like, a cool adverse to try to show the relativity of that otakus can be into either something of the opposite sex that is not normally accustomed to them by culture. Like, in America, I guess for us, we've just become so used to it that even in Japan it seems still too old, like, very, you know,
We've
new.
also been given the gift to geekdom known as the MCU is popular among casual movie-going audiences, therefore opening up the geek world to being a normal thing now instead of something that's being pushed away and hidden.
Well, it's kind of funny how, what you said, Wheels, is kind of the main focus and dilemma of the series. At least with Nakamura and her mother. Her mother is interested in one thing, and she's interested in other things, and neither one really understands why the other likes the other thing.
Yeah, no, like, that's one of the things that I find even more interesting is usually, like, when you're a kid, and this is the weird thing, at least when you're a kid, you normally adopt a lot of things that you like, usually due to your parents invest in you. So, for Nakamura to immediately be like, oh, I don't like cutesy-wootsy girly things, is kind of very different than your normal child, because most children will, you know, sort of take on attributes of whatever their parent throws in front of them. Like, if, say, your father likes westerns, and you sit there watching westerns, you'll probably like them as a kid growing up, but then you might lean away from them, or then you might come back to them. Because, like I said, the only reason I got into tokusatsu because my dad liked horror movies and, like, B movies of America, and just a lot of science fiction films like the original kaiju genre. And so, like, that's how I got it. So it's like, for Nakamura to get into tokusatsu, I feel like the real reason was really her brother, but because her brother was the influence, the mother was like, oh, you shouldn't be into that stuff, even though she's a single mother, so the brother's also helping to take care of Nakamura, as we see him trying to help him, or I should say him trying to help her, you know, get around the evils of the mother's ways, which is ironic seeing that her brother is the harmonica man from Daimajin Canon.
I know, right?
I know, when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, it's harmonica man. I was like, I need to go Google search this. And then, like, I was trying to message you, Mucha, to at least go double check to see if I wasn't insane. And, like, you didn't get back to me for, like, 2 weeks.
It's almost like Mucha died for 2 weeks and someone had to resurrect him.
Well, we found those Dragon Balls.
Thanks, guys.
I've had them all along. I just want to make sure you experience 2
I
weeks
guess
of
the
the
important
afterlife.
thing to remember about the mother also is that she had a divorce, and that could have played a part in why she's that way.
Yeah, no, because I even state that her divorce really triggered her. But, like, it was weird that she was very, like, kind of abusive towards the kids. They even mentioned that she was kind of abusive after
It's kind of like you lost your husband, you don't want to lose your kids too. So you become clingy to them.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, the way that even the son states to his wife, you know, after the mother is asleep or went away, he states that, like, oh yeah, our mom was kind of like, not just clinging to us, she was kind of a dictator to us. She was kind of mildly abusive towards us. She deliberately took all of my sister's belongings and burnt it one time to light a barbecue. Like,
Those kids were good though, Wheels.
He literally states, my mother put my sister through the ringer. It's like, she tormented my sister. And when you think about that, that is honestly bad parenting. But in Japan, that seems as, it's just average, which is kind of weird. That's some psychological bullshit right there, if you think about it.
Well, again, it's how Japan views society and how we view society.
Oh no, that's understandable, but it, like, when you look at it, not just from the Western world, but other societies, they probably do agree that's kind of a little wacky. Cause like, that's one of the things at the end, I like the fact that the mother tries to watch the show, and like, I would have liked if the show showed that she was slowly understanding some of the values, but just couldn't get through it because of its very kiddie aesthetic of being, you know, just a giant toy commercial. Like, I would have liked that, like, at the end when she comes in and goes, hey mom, I bought you this apology gift. Like, she'd been like, oh, I kind of bought you this, you know. And then, like, the mother going, oh, you know what I found interesting is, like, how these characters have, like, this interesting backstory. Like, it would have been a little bit better to have had a cleaner reconcile than just, hey, here. Like, that's one thing I also noticed about J-dramas is if your series is gonna end on reconciling, they kind of just lampshade that here's the first signs, but they don't show the stages of approval, the stages of acceptance, the stages of I'm sorry, which is another thing that is kind of sad about the fact that we've only got this low episode count, that I feel like we could have had an entire episode of just after her apologizing, it would have been her and the mother, or like an additional scene of her and the mother coming together. I think is one of the harder parts about this, because everyone's subplots, in a sense, help lead to this moment of reconcile, but at the same time, you don't know where it's all leading to, especially like with the Damien subplot, where like, you know, Nakamura kind of crushes Damien's heart and says, yo, yeah, your parents are going to control you, and there's nothing that I can do because I'm only 24, and they'll just see me as some effing bum that's, you know, possibly a pedophile. Because Damien straight up says, hey, Nakamura, are you some kind of, you know, into shotas? And she's like, whoa, you're crazy. And it's funny, too, because, like, after a while, as the series progresses, she's like, oh, hey, you want some candy? And he's like, I can't accept this. So I'm like, listen, she's been hanging out with you for how many weeks in universe time, and you still say she's a stranger? You're whack, kid. But nah, if Yoshida was like, hey, you want a lollipop? He'd be like, hell yeah.
That's only because they like the same senshi.
Oh, I just still love the effect when she could feel it, and she got, what was it, it's like actually sonic booms, like shockwaved back when he fell in love with her. She's like, what just happened? Did I just lose my number one fan?
The funniest thing is when she went berserk over the guy that looks exactly like the main actor.
Oh yeah, and they leave that subplot up, because I said to Soundout, I was waiting for the subplot to be that, like, the the worker actually is the retired actor from the show. Like, it's just him after life on the show. It's like, that would have been the funniest thing ever. Like, the subplot is just, he either is the actor or the actor's twin brother.
The best thing ever.
That would have been amazing. No, there's like a lot of stuff that goes on. I think the one thing that also is kind of interesting is how in the earlier episodes, the male character who loves Love Cute, Ninkyo, is played off to be like a major member of the team, but then like he's kind of just pushed and like you barely ever see him.
I mean, at least he got to do karaoke.
Yeah, with another fan.
Yeah, who's the actual owner of the bar, karaoke bar, allegedly.
I lost my fucking mind when that happened. I found that the funniest shit ever and the greatest thing ever. Cause he got all embarrassed because he was singing the anime theme. He's like, oh man, this isn't kosher. And then he's like, does the love cure or love cute thing pose. And he's like, oh my god, you're a fan too? This is amazing. That feel when someone you don't know likes the same thing you do.
It's magic.
You know, like, that's one thing I do feel like there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this show. There's a lot of stuff. And I think they could have dragged it out a little bit more. Like, I think the funniest thing is, like, the ending where they give, like, that weird heroic narration. This is not Nakamura, office lady, who's going to buy a television. How will she figure out how to buy it this week? And she's like, I'll use the anti-gimmick. And then Mayuchi's just standing there, dressed up as fucking, Blue, and he's just like, so, this for a kid or for yourself? This is for my nephew. And the younger worker behind him is just doing the actual transformation pose behind him.
Yeah.
Like, y'all stupid.
That was the greatest thing ever. Or what about when they showed Jiro Okamoto as the teacher yelling at them in the hallway?
Yeah, oh yeah. You know what was funny? I stated that stuff, and Soundout was like, oh shit, that is Jiro. Like, he literally paused it, rewound it, and I'm like, that was Jiro. He's like, oh yeah, you are right. That was Jiro. I'm like, duh.
Because
I didn't notice it at first.
Because, as we all know, he was the suit actor for Ember Jason, which was very obvious to anybody who's a Tokusatsu fan, which is kind of sad.
Anyway, it's a Tokusatsu fan that notices suit actors because there's a large group of people that don't.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite Ember Jason moment was when they legitimately broke the fourth wall, and he just shows up outside Ninkyo's store, like high fives Ninkyo, and then the cop shows up and goes, what the hell's going on? I'm gonna call the police. And he's like, hey, we need the squad car, and Ember Jason just slowly starts walking off into the night.
I didn't do anything! Yes, you did. You know what you did.
My job here is complete. But you didn't do anything.
That cop was basically the signal man of this delusion.
Essentially.
But that was the best part, because, like, in that delusion, it legitimately broke the fourth wall. It wasn't like the karaoke one, where, like, they just, like, pretended that it was an alternate reality where they were shooting a music video.
That was a great thing, though. That music video was awesome. Don't even get me started on the wheels.
I mean, it was pretty hype. Like, the whole part where, like, people come running into the karaoke bar and start doing the standoff, and they all start, like, dabbing, which was weird that, you know, Ember Jason's transformation, you know, roll call pose is just him doing a dab.
Hey, he's Ember Jason. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I want an Ember Jason figure.
We're not getting them. We're never getting them.
I was gonna allow Soundout to have Ember Jason be drafted in our hero draft, but...
Yeah, but remember, flag on the play.
Because Ember Jason would probably beat everybody's team.
Probably.
Just saying, because he died like Metalder.
But no, with Tokusatsu GaGaGa, I think, like, we pretty much nailed everything on the head, except actually nailing Nakamura in the head.
You're disgusting.
Come on, I'm not putting a nail in her head, I just, you know.
You're disgusting.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Come on. It's not like anyone
No
else
one makes that
thinking
sound with a perfectly reasonable amount of respect and gratitude towards others.
I mean, come
I
on,
do.
fam. Visible Ninja would have been way worse if he said it.
That's exactly why we delayed this podcast, so he wouldn't be on it.
Exactly. Because he would have made it sound way worse than I made it.
I think it's because of Ember Jason.
No, he's not Ember Jason. He's more like, you know, a tentacle monster straight out of a hentai.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
But yeah, you know what one of the funniest ironies about this show is that the lead star actually technically wasn't in a normal average tokusatsu, but other characters obviously in the show were, you know, like the fact that Rina Takeda, actually I think the chick who played Yoshida was in a couple of like extra in a couple of Sentais, like she actually was like, you know, girl of the week that needs Sentai members help bull crap, etc., etc.
And here I thought the irony was the fact that this was a better show than all the tokusatsu currently airing.
It's kind of true. It's a shame that.
I don't
I think-
disagree. It was my favorite.
Yeah, I think though the thing is though, because it's written as a J-drama, that's why it has a little bit more integrity, because it's not held down by the Toei antics of we gotta market toys.
Very true.
Oh yeah, you know it's also a funny thing? I brought this up when we first reviewed the episode. I just want to tell Mucha this if he didn't know. You know that the actress who plays Nakamura, one of her first earliest roles was in Kiki's Delivery Service, the live action.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Sound out, we've already been over this.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We did this on the actual first review of the episode.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did, a couple of episodes ago.
Yes, we did.
I do not remember this.
I remembered it like it was Tuesday.
Like you weren't even here.
Shut up. You weren't even there for that episode.
Wasn't I, Wheels? Wasn't I?
No.
Oh,
No, you weren't.
Okay.
No. Anyways, though, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a really enjoyable series. I mean, we spoiled most of the episode, but by now most people who already seen it saw it, and most of the people who are currently into it are probably slowly getting through it. So if you're watching it, you probably know that this is a good thing to watch after the show. Or if you're not, you know, too crazy about spoilers, can easily watch. Then again, we didn't cover everything, but we got most of the nails on the head the right way. So, you know, what's going on, who did what, where's it all going, and moral of the story is, be you, do you, find others that compliment you, etc., blah blah blah. This J-drama didn't really go into the fornication side of J-drama things, but you know, it was still good.
Also, don't feel like you're obligated to always be with people, because the memories are more important.
Absolutely.
And also, if your parent's an asshole, just slap the fuck out of them.
And if your friends are annoying you, you just tell them off and move on with life. So I'll see you guys later.
I was gonna say that was not actually in the show.
It was.
No, not really.
It was.
That was a part of the subplot that wasn't a good element of the subplot.
Exactly. If people disagree with you, you leave them behind.
You kill them.
Okay, Kitashiro.
You crush your enemies.
I just still love that episode, though, where she literally just crushes her, and they do it as, like, the sixth senshi who doesn't want to join them trope. And it's like, da-dun, 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 and she's like, no, you're supposed to be our friend. And Kitashiro's like, fuck off, little one.
Like, I will break you over my knee.
Okay, chill the fuck out, Bane.
I am in that mood.
Yeah, like...
I was gonna say, Ryuki doesn't make you turn into Bane. Come on now, fam.
No, that's other things.
Crack.
I was gonna say, do those other things deal with clear wheels on Transformers?
Yes!
And if you're listening, you know who you are, Darkon.
He's not listening, and we know that.
That's the point.
He doesn't do podcasts.
I like the final episode where she's watching the last episode of Ember Jason, and she comes to, like, this epiphany that feeling never really disappeared. Like, she wasn't watching Tokusatsu for a couple years until she got back into high school. And then she saw the last episode of Ember Jason, and she was like, oh, I remember liking this. I remember why I like this. Those feelings just don't disappear.
Kind of like Writer Time Ryuki reminding me what I like about Heisei Kamen Rider. To the point where now I'm going back to other shows and watching them.
Well, that's what it's kind of weird, because that's what happened, I think, to me. I was in high school. I was only really watching Godzilla. I wasn't really watching anything else. But, Lord behold, I watched old Sentai shows on YouTube and other places that were cool and now kind of suck, Crunchyroll. And that reinvigorated my love for the genre again. It's like that feeling never really goes away, you know?
Sometimes it just lays dormant for a while, and something eventually will, like, reignite it for you and re-spark your love.
It's funny, because I don't think I think I'm the only one who didn't really go away. I was, like, watching it still.
Well, I said I was still watching my Godzilla.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is, like, with Power Rangers, I was still watching it weekly, even though I was like, oh man, some of these are bad. And then, like, you know, I get Sentai and Rider, and I was watching those. And, like, it's one of those ones where, like, nowadays, like, you don't have to watch every show, and you can go back and watch ones you like while you're waiting for maybe a show that you do like to air. But, yeah, no, it's one of those weirder takes where Japan also approaches it in that mindset of people normally are supposed to grow out, but they might actually still have a fascination for it kind of thing, you know? Because I've seen so many friends of mine that kind of went back and, like, started getting sort of reinvested into Power Rangers. Like, I don't think they're watching weekly with Beast Morphers, but they kind of wanted to at least see where the legacy's gone on, because, like I Soundout stated, geek culture is now widely accepted, whether it's Marvel, DC, or
are they
Star
real
Wars and
geeks?
stuff.
Are they?
I don't know.
I still think there's some that get a lot of stigma. Like Power Rangers gets a lot of stigma put behind it. You know, it's hard to be like an openly expressive fan of, like, there's like certain shows. It's like hard to be like you like, you know, Star Wars is accepted, Marvel, DC, you know, Transformers, even Dragon Ball is huge. But then it's like, oh well, I like Yu-Gi-Oh, and everyone's like, you're weird. Or I like Power Rangers, and people are like, why?
Or just any Japanese show, because they're like, wait, what?
Well, not any Japanese show, because there's a lot of them that are, like, anime, fine. Well, Toku, that's a little trickier.
Yeah, that's what I mean, the Japanese tokusatsu shows.
I think Toku hasn't hit with casual audiences yet. The 2017 Power Rangers movie definitely didn't do that.
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about how that movie was an entire, complete misfire from beginning to end, and will never get a sequel.
I mean,
no
come
matter
on,
how
fam.
much people want.
Guys, when your movie opens up with jerking off a bull, I'm pretty sure that's your misfire right then in a nutshell.
I mean, think about how many steps in the filmmaking process have to be done for that to end up on a theater screen. Scripting, rehearsing, shooting, editing, approval from studio, approval from filmmakers, final editing, final mixdown, sending to theaters. Theaters then screening it ahead of showing it in the movie theater. MPAA rating the film based on said scene. Then movie actually being shown in theaters. That is a long process for a stupid joke that was terrible. Also, the movie promoted alcohol. It promoted underage drinking, and said that teenagers drinking beer is okay. And dropping out of school is alright.
It happens all the time in real life. That's the problem.
That's the problem, is that parents hated the movie because it was too real, so that and being Power Rangers, it was seen as a kid's movie because it was a PG-13 Power Rangers movie, so that fit in the Marvel realm. But it featured very realistic teenagers with problems, and parents didn't like that. And parents didn't like that the movie was dark and had Rita ripping jaws out of dudes and stuff. So, like, a lot of what I've understood from, like, people that are parents that I know, they go see a movie first if they're unsure about it before taking their kid to see it, and then they'll take their kid a second time. That's how a lot of family films gain their money, because basically they're seen twice by a family. With Power Rangers, parents went to see it and said, nope, not taking my kid to that, and then that cut out, like, half the money they could have made. It wasn't family friendly, it was dark and edgy, which also tonally didn't fit with Power Rangers as a whole.
Dark and edgy Power Rangers. What is this, Power Rangers?
No, that at least was a joke.
A horrible joke, but
it was a bad joke, but at least it wasn't taking itself seriously.
I don't know, man. I think that director's just on some drugs.
No, he made
the amazing Castlevania series, so I'm really not really sure, like, what kind of drugs they are, but they're magic when they're in the right property.
He's on a lot of drugs. Don't forget his panel at Power Morphicon.
Oh,
some
God.
Of the questions he's
Who even gave him a panel at Power Morphicon?
Scott Zellner.
Oh.
Why did he even give him a panel? Why was he even invited?
I don't know why, but I kind of want to message him, be like, yo, can you verify this? Because me and my friends always riff on you. Like, we don't maliciously do it, except Mucho.
I do.
But the rest of us, don't.
I rip on everybody who I don't like.
But you rip on people that you do like.
You rip on me, and I thought we at least have a podcast together. I mean, something.
This is true. So, basically, I rip on everyone.
Yes.
Alright, anyways, but, like, it's ironic how we always keep going off on tangents on this episode. Then again, if you look at
who's in the room.
I don't know, there's not a room here where you guys are both here in the room.
You're telling me apart.
We're not sitting in the same room.
Exactly.
Why would you spread lies? Like, we are sitting at the same table.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't killed each other yet.
That's why I have Nucha's wrist in a twist, so I can break it at any moment when he steps over a line. We're all in the same room. We just have different quality microphones.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
It was bring your own microphone day at work today, okay?
Anyway, though, last thoughts I can say, with this is that, go check it out. Great.
We don't have to end it here, Wheels. We could talk about more. What's your favorite episode and what's your favorite moment? What's one thing you have changed? Stuff like that.
Alright, Sound Out. Okay, quickly, like, we'll do that. Favorite moment, favorite episode. What would you change? Sound Out.
Emmer Jason Karaoke, the episode with the slap, and I would have made it 14 episodes.
14 episodes? My God.
I'll agree with Sound Out. I think, like, the full duration of a full 14 episode series might be a lot better for a solid season.
13 episodes and a compilation special.
Yeah, that would have made a more better of a production. I will say that my favorite moment is obviously the slap. My favorite episode is, I think my favorite episode might actually be either the one where it's episode 3, the episode it might be episode 2 or 3 where she first meets Yoshida, or the one where Yoshida actually starts being like a tokusatsu villain is trying to recruit Rina Takeda to be their third member. Like, I thought those were like some of the funniest episodes. Like, the early Yoshida ones are probably like the real gems.
Oh, she's great.
That's about it.
Who's your favorite character, by the way?
Favorite character? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Emmer Jason.
Okay, besides Emmer Jason.
Yeah, actual real ones, not the fictional in-universe based ones.
Probably, Tiger Girl.
Yoshida.
Yoshida's
probably the best one, because there's that whole moment where Nakamura goes, wait, do you literally carry an entire complete season box set in your pocketbook? And she's like, yeah, you never know when you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
That's totally me, though.
People knocking shit over.
Oh, I thought that was you just bring out your
a
complete box set of Kamen Rider Fies.
It is, but people knocking shit over, because Soundout's right next to me. He knocked over my complete box set.
That's because his wrist broke free of my grab, so not my fault.
He just didn't want me to show off Fies.
You didn't have to break free of my grab, okay? You didn't have to break it.
But I did.
What did you break? Who broke what?
Mucha's wrist. I broke Mucha's wrist.
Oh my God. Who's this guy?
He broke his wrist from furious masturbating. How could you break his wrist?
Yeah, see?
Because we're in the same room recording a podcast, and you appeared out of nowhere who wasn't scheduled and walked into our podcast room.
One, I don't walk, I glide.
Yeah.
You glided into our podcast room.
He's the MJ of podcasting.
If you compare me to LeBron James, we're gonna fight.
I wasn't going to. That's an insult.
I was gonna say Mucha though. What's your favorite episode? Favorite moment?
Oh shit! Is
How
that
would
Brand
you change?
starting the podcast?
Oh,
Yeah.
We are recording. You walked into the podcast room and you're like, are you doing a podcast? Yes. This is the podcast room of our elaborate complex that has 4 stories and rooms for everybody.
But yeah, Mucha, to answer your own question, what is it?
I think
favorite episode, favorite moment, yeah.
Nakamura is my favorite character because I relate to her too much and it's kind of scary, and she's the best girl. That I can confirm 1,000%. Favorite episode? I think it has to be the one where they all go karaoke together and the office lady makes up with her friend. What was her name again? I forgot the friend's name.
I didn't care to write the friend's name. I just was like, I'm only writing down the main characters.
But she appears from a lot.
She's
After
part of
like
the squad.
2. I don't know.
That's nearly half the series.
No, it's like a third. Get it right. All right.
And favorite moment? I did enjoy the slap, but I think my favorite moment is when she's watching the last episode of Emma Jason.
Oh, I mean the part where Emma Jason just magically shows up and hugs her as she's crying in an empty schoolroom.
Yeah, because that's awesome.
It made me sad, but so happy, and it touched my feelings.
I don't have
Alright.
feelings, so...
Right. Well, no, we know
I
you don't
know.
have feelings.
Oh, and
We
one
know
thing I
you
would
know.
change, I mean, I would like to have it longer. Who wouldn't like to have Tokusatsu GaGaGa?
So we all agree, just make it longer. So overall, we're practically at that nice hour mark before, editing and other shenanigans. So, we'll start wrapping up now. We did Tokusatsu GaGaGa. Next week, we might have to pull an audible and switch around our episode cast, because somebody still doesn't want to go watch Good Morning Call. Sound out.
Well, somebody keeps trying to force
right?
me into it.
Hey, we made a promise months ago on the schedule where you're like, fine, I'll do it because you gave me time to do it to force me to do it. But now you're like,
I haven't felt like watching things because I've been sick and I have been reclusive to the Ryuki level of our complex, and you have not set up the viewing room to watch Good Morning Call, so therefore I cannot watch.
Hey,
Every time is a good
I
time
keep
to
saying
watch
on
Good
Friday.
Morning Call.
Yeah, I keep saying on Fridays. And you're like, nah, man, we gotta go watch whatever Gundam or Dairuger episodes we have to watch. And I'm like,
You
no.
always say that. You're the one. I would rather just watch it on my own, but you're like, no, I gotta go watch this with you. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. But if it wasn't for Metal Show, I'd actually have time to watch Good Morning Call.
Then let's just cancel Metal Show.
Let's
Sound
just
out.
start Doom Patrol earlier than midnight and do that instead.
Sound out, I'm very confused. Why would you watch Good Morning Call in the Ryuki section when we have the Wizard section made for it?
No, the Ryuki section is the other half of the floor.
Oh no.
What
Who
for?
designed this stupid tower?
A blind man.
Dark Gun. Anyways, as we talk about Hero Club Compound, yeah, we gotta go get Sound Out to watch a Good Morning Call.
You
the
can
fight
make
of
me do it. It's not hard.
Sound out.
You just
Yeah, exactly.
2 words, Wheel. 2 words, sound up. Toaster killer.
Damn it, that is the most exciting thing anyone's told me about this show. Everyone's just like, oh, Wizard Season 2. Yeah, but what about Toaster Killer? I'm in.
I love
TBS.
toasters.
See, well, you just had to leave it to Projekt. Projekt always convinces me.
Yeah.
That's because he's a car
yeah.
salesman.
Whoa, I don't sell cars. I sell luxury vehicles on wheels.
Are
That's how
they
I
clear?
was gonna say, that's how I got my wheelchair.
Are they Clear Wheels Project?
No, I don't sell inferior products, so I don't know where wheels got this, but I did not.
That's just Dargon who sells clear wheels then.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yes, because no one's
Hey.
letting me actually wrap up.
Hey,
Everyone's
Game
just
of
talking
Thrones,
about
Stop the
stuff.
Spoiler alert
recording
for Game of
until
Thrones.
we're all
Alright.
satisfied with the conclusion.
The record
Yeah, I know.
right now-
What we're trying to all say is that Tokusatsu GaGaGa is a show you should
Great.
watch.
I'm going back to the Ryuki level. I can't handle you guys anymore. I'm out.
Yeah. Just anyways, yeah. Go watch GaGaGa. We'll figure out if we're doing Good Morning Call next week. And anyways, like I said, you got Soundout 12 on social media at Soundout 12 at the Holy Trinity. You got Gender Joker on Twitter. He has Toku Warriors on Facebook. And Project RDM as Project 1, I think. On,
That's right, it's the number 1.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
the one.
Anyways, I'm Wheelchair21 on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Taja_Doyle on Instagram. And Hero Club everywhere is Hero Club for Life. But you're going to hear that in the outro anyways. So this concludes episode 81. And like I said, we'll see you again with episode 82 next week.
Hey, it's Wheelchair21, and thanks again for listening to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. If you want to hear more content or see more content from the Hero Club YouTube channel, we're going to need you to subscribe, like, comment with some feedback, and share this channel with a friend. We also would like you to check out our website, hero-club.com, and follow us on various social media outlets just by looking up Hero Club for Life, as well as the stores you see are where we shop. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.